Hello, hello. It is Thursday night. It is our weekly North American Leadership Academy meeting. How is everybody? My goodness, we just got back from Florida and it's so much fun. We had such a great meeting down in Florida. It's good to see everybody on here. I just want to give you a quick story about me real quick. My name is Dale Goebel. I'll be your host tonight. I grew up in the horse show business, the horse show industry, showing, training horses and everything else. And that kind of led me around when I got introduced into this company, Rain International, and seed nutrition. And that's what got me interested. And then when I found out what seed nutrition really was, that's what got me hooked. And man, have I been hooked since. So, guys, if you're logging in from around the country, I'd love to see where you're from. I'd love to hear your comments. Tell us what you're thinking. If you've been invited as a guest, please, this is a no pressure way to kind of eavesdrop in, hear what we're talking about, see how the business has been being run, what kind of support you're going to get, the support you get from the home office, so the support you get from the other people in the business. This is like a big family. Like I said, we just got back from Florida, had a big meeting, got to see people I hadn't seen in a long time, got to meet some new people, and you're going to hear from some of them on here tonight. But like I said, it's a way to eavesdrop in. It's a way to make a great decision to find out whether this business is something for you. You're going to find out a little bit about the compensation plan. You're going to find out about some of the products. You're going to find out just about the business all the way around. You're going to find out some stories from real people that have given their real testimonies on why they're a part of this family, the Rain family. And so, guys, let's get started tonight. And no better than to start it off with Miss Rebel Brown tonight, talking about a little bit of product. And over to you, Rebel. Rebel, are you there?
Dale, I always forget that darn mic. So tonight we're going to talk a little bit about one of our products, and we're going to talk about Bend. All right. So here, I'm going to share my screen. Everybody can see that? Give me a yeehaw. Yeah? Yeah. Okay. So first, yeehaw. So first we're going to talk a little bit about seeds, right? So first, we all know that our nutrition is lacking, right? It's just a lower quality of food, whether it's because of degradation in our soil or the chemicals and the toxins. We know we have a problem with our nutrition. The thing is, though, we don't just need a better food, and we don't need another fad diet. We need a breakthrough. And that's just what Rain brings with seed-based nutrition. Seeds are probably the most important nutritional breakthrough in 50 to 100 years. I mean, we've had vitamins and we've had supplements and we've had organic and we've had non-GMO, but those are all designed to fix the problem with our current food. Seeds are an innovation in nutrition. These mighty little powerhouses deliver 20 to 30x more potency than the plants and fruits that they create, which is what we eat right now, right? So think about it. A little tiny seed creates a giant banana tree or apple tree or whatever you want to think about. How much nutrition is in the DNA of that seed? And wouldn't you love to have that for yourself? Yeah. So here's the thing. You can't just eat seeds and get the benefits. It doesn't work that way. It took an idea and then it took biotech, science, to harness the full potency of a seed and make sure that that nutrition was 100% available to your body. And that's exactly what these Rain scientists did. They created a breakthrough process to harness all of that power of seeds and to give it 100% to you. And by the way, yes, that's all been proven in independent lab testing. Seed-based nutrition is the future. So let it rain. Now let's talk about Bend. Okay, Bend is all about joint pain, or rather not having joint pain. All right, so there are more than 300 joints in your body. And whether you're an adrenaline junkie like me or a happy little couch potato, you need to take care of your joints so you can do things like stand up and walk and wave at people, right? Rain created Bend to fuel our joints with just what they need to make them healthy, but more important, to continue to have them grow and be healthy so you remain active and pain-free. Now, it contains, like all of our products, it contains a specific combination of seeds to reduce joint pain. It has inflammation inhibitors, and we all know inflammation, you know, the swelling, the aches, the whatever. It's one of the key causes of joint swelling, of pain, and of tenderness. Then there's that morning stiffness that many of us just know and do not love, right? Cartilage builders. So cartilage builders, you know what cartilage is? You know how you have cushions in your sneakers? Well, cartilage inside your joints and around your bones is like the cushion in those sneakers, all right? It lubricates your joints, which then reduces the friction or the drag that causes stiffness and pain. Then there's tendon support. You know, I didn't know this, but our bodies contain over 4,000 ligaments or tendons and 900 ligaments. Wow. And they're crucial components of our muscular skeletal system to be able to move. So we better take care of them as well, right? And that's just what Bend does. So let's talk a little bit about what's inside Bend. All right. Whoops, I'm in the wrong slide. There we go. So Bend is power packed with natural seed nutrition that feeds and fuels your joints, okay? So first, oh, I see Ann sucking down her Bend over there. So first, there's glucosamine sulfate, right? Now, that's a natural sugar that's found in cartilage. So Bend replenishes it with a highly available and pure glucosamine sulfate that supports your body in building healthy cartilage. And by the way, it's not from shellfish. Other products are from shellfish, but they often have, you guessed it, toxins because of our oceanic environment, right? Bend's source of glucosamine sulfate, the seeds, is vegan and it's pure. Now, then there's flaxseed. And you know, flaxseed is known to reduce inflammation and relieve pain because it is chock full of omega-3 fatty acids and flavonoids. Now, it's funny, and Dale will get a kick out of this. I've always used flaxseed for my show horses, my cow horses and my reiners, because they slide on their hocks, right? Well, now I use it for my own hocks. How cool is that, right? Then there's black cumin seed oil, all right? Now, it's a powerful little seed that helps reduce inflammation and also the oxidative stress that degrades our ability to rebuild. So once again, fuels healthy joints. And then there's curcumin, or what we know as turmeric. You know, ancient turmeric was used in medicine in South Asia as early as 3000 BC. That's how long that's been around. And it is a powerhouse. It feeds and fuels the chondrocytes. And the chondrocytes are the cells inside the cartilage. Okay. So now we know what it helps. We know what's in it. Let's talk about what's in it for you. Okay. So first of all, you build healthy cartilage, which means you have to have it like that stuff in the sneakers. You need the cartilage to remain flexible, to have your joints flow easily, and you stay healthy and pain-free. All right. Then you get healthy bones and joints. It's not just a Band-Aid so you feel like you have healthy joints and bones. It actually helps you build and continue to build and create the healthy bones and joints that you need so you can keep doing the things you love, right? And it reduces inflammation. I mean, so much of our pain is from inflammation. Bend changes that for the better. And then there's even more, and this is a really cool thing, all right? So gene signaling, healthy gene signaling. So signaling is kind of the communication interplay between genes and their signals. And what they do is they influence the development, the function, and the health of our joints. So essentially, when certain genes can be activated or deactivated, right, which leads to changes in our joint health, depending on the signals they send to cells within the joint structure. So as you age or as you have big, you do what I did and junk your body, the signaling gets off. It's really key because unlike all those popular OTC meds, all those that are Band-Aids that suppress symptoms, Bend leverages nutrition to help you feel better and to actually correct the causes behind the symptoms so that you build healthy joints and bones. All right. Now, Every ingredient in Bend is scientifically, I'm having trouble with that one tonight, and it's proven, and it's in independent labs. All right. So you know that it's pure, it's powerful, it's what we say it is, it's available to your body, and your body's just gonna love it. Now, if you want to know more about Bend or about anything about Rain, we have the best resources on the planet to help our associates and our customers understand the power of these products. So you can see we have everything from magalogs to amazing product sheets to videos that help you understand more about what we do and about the technology and about what you can do with Rain. So whoever invited you to this meeting, go back and ask them for a resource or for more information. And in the meantime, if you have joint pain, I'm going to tell you, I could barely walk from my crazy life. The joint pain, it's amazing. So if you have joint pain, it is time to get your Bend on, okay? I can actually touch my hands to the floor, and I couldn't even touch the floor 6 months ago. Back to you, Dale.
Rebel, thank you so very much. You know,
a pleasure, young man.
The joint pain and the back pain, you know, I'm not a big runner, but I found out that I truly, I can feel a difference when I am and am not taking Bend when I run. My lower back, after a couple miles, I'm not in such good mood. Yeah. But after that, if I'm taking Bend, I can go that third or fourth mile.
I did an experiment, Dale, to see what would happen if I went off of it. I lasted 2 days.
Exactly.
And I was like, give it to me, give it to me.
And the flaxseed thing, yes, I've used it on my horses forever, and it is amazing what flaxseed can do to your body. But guys, let's go to the next person. You know, I got to meet this person 2 years ago. It's been a year ago last month, or this last month, back in Florida when we were down in Orlando last year for a big meeting. And I got to re-meet him again this year. You know, this next person, he's been in the financial services, been in insurance, and, you know, he's actually been in the kind of entertainment business also a little bit. But, you know, he's one that can really talk about our next section, which is leverage. And that's Mr. Derek Lord. So I want to introduce Derek Lord, our next speaker, to talk a little about leverage, because he's a really good guy and he knows money. He knows how to leverage things. So, Mr. Derek Lord, over to you.
Thanks, Dale. And now we're going to take a quick look. I want you to think for a minute. As we were flying back from Orlando, it occurred to me, what if we had a time machine? You know, what if we were really able to go back in time? I know for those of us who were down in Orlando, we would have loved it because we learned some things, the most important of which is a concept called leverage. Now, many of us call it the superpower because you'll see in a moment, when you have leverage, it makes a great deal of difference. Now we're going to also play a little bit of a game. If you were able to have a business, become a social entrepreneur, or expand your social entrepreneurship and come up with a way to build your ultimate lifestyle. Now, we're not talking about we're talking about your, because each one of us has different things that we like to do. We have different things that are important to us. And what we're going to do here is we're going to take a look at the ability to use a program with Rain, and we now call it Rain 2.0. Megatrends. Better to be in front of them than to not be in front of them. The first one is something that I really hadn't caught on to until a year or so ago, and that's the social entrepreneurship. My background in finance and insurance, you know, was more traditional. This social entrepreneurship is really powerful, and we'll talk a little more about it in a few minutes. Healthy lifestyle, that goes without saying. Everybody needs to have a level of health that they're going to be able to enjoy their life. That's just how it is. Now, we don't all have to be great athletes. We don't have to be marathon runners or Olympic stars, but we certainly have to be able to move, and we have to be able to enjoy our life. Side gigs. So many people now not only have a side gig as a hobby, but their side gigs are actually providing the majority of their finances. Really valuable. And then last but not least, social media marketing. You can't really go anywhere without bumping into somebody because they're looking at their phone. What if we were able to define an ultimate side gig business? What if you were able to create an environment where you could set your own hours, whatever works for you, choose who you work with? And I'll let that sink in for just a minute. What if you can actually choose the people that you work with? Wouldn't that be cool? An unlimited earning potential based upon what you do and how well you do it. And of course, the most important thing, which ties into the whole idea of social entrepreneurship, is becoming successful by empowering other people. Travel opportunities. Well, I know we've enjoyed some of those, and there's going to be a lot more on the horizon. If you enjoy traveling for pleasure or business, you're able to go and see places that you might not have even imagined just a short time ago. And then this one is near and dear to my heart because you can earn across 16 time zones. Means when you're going to bed, other people are going to be waking up for the same purpose. Now we're going to hit just a little more with social entrepreneurship. Doing well by doing good. In other words, you don't have to worry that when you're recommending a product or a business, that somehow you're recommending something where people are easily taken advantage of. Well, let's look at some of these individuals. Mark Cuban, Oprah Winfrey, Bezos, Worling. They all learned how to create and harness the power of leverage. And it's not all the same. Leverage does not simply mean money. Money is one of the focuses of leverage, but it's also on the people with whom we surround ourselves. So here's the reality. Either you employ leverage or you work for somebody who does. And you might be the one who is leveraged more. And now, how many hours can you work a week? I mean, there's people on this dais right now that have worked 40, 60, 80, 100 hours a week. But I don't know if they loved it. How about if we just simply cut out 15 hours a week, couple hours a day, scheduled the way it works for us? Well, that's pretty good. That adds a little bit to our outcome. But now, what if you were able to find a couple people who, just like you, would also like to employ leverage and would also like to be a social entrepreneur? Now you've got their 15 hours plus yours, that's 45 hours. That's a pretty solid work week in itself. And now let's just, in this example, go just one more. Those two people find two people that also would like to. Now think about this. You have over 100 hours a week. That's work being done for the benefit of ourselves and our team and the people that we serve. Now, for the next 2.5 hours, no, we're not going to do that. For the next couple minutes, I just want to touch on multiple ways to earn, because this is not like a regular 9-to-5 job, typically, where you go to work for a number of hours, you get paid for those hours. What we do here is the first focus you'll notice is customer rewards. The entire program for RAIN is based upon customers, but they have ways that the customers can also get benefits and see wonderful rewards for themselves. Then we have fast start commissions where people join. We have partner and senior partner bonuses. This is a business that you actually do better moving quickly, and it's a lot of fun. Then, of course, we have team commissions. We have global diamond pool and executive pool. And what that means for some of you who might have been in and around some of the marketing industry, you're able to enjoy rewards from countries and people that you may never have even met or seen. And they do not have to be directly connected to you. It's absolutely marvelous. And last but not least, generational matching bonus. That is the piece of the puzzle that you have the ability for some of us that you will be able to work hard and you'll be able to end up creating a legacy, something that you can pass on generation after generation, leave a mark on what you've done. And with that, Dale, I want to hand it back to you.
Derek, thank you so very much. You're sitting there talking about 9 ways to earn. And I grew up in the horse business. There's a lot of times the only way I knew how to earn money was to show up. And even there were times when I showed up, I didn't get paid. And we're talking about 9 different ways to get paid off of other people just joining in with you. That's amazing. And you did a wonderful job. Thank you so very much. So now, guys, we are to a section where we're going to hear some real testimonies from real people about why they're a part of this Rain family. So our first one tonight is someone I got to meet in Florida for the first time, and I would love to welcome her in, Miss Regina. I'm going to turn it over to you, and let's hear what you have to say. Okay, Regina?
Hi, everybody. My name is Regina Williams. I live in West Palm Beach, Florida. I work for doctors in the billing and coding for a corporate company for which has long hours. And the challenge that I face is not enough family time, and I miss my family. So when I was introduced to Rain, and this was my way to spend quality time with the family and have a lifestyle that is healthy, and so I can be happier. I am Rain. Thank you, Rain. And over to you, Ivan.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I'm happy to be here. Hey, Rain family. My name is Ivan Eccles, and I'm from Fort Pierce, Florida. I am a handyman. I work 7 days a week. I work very long hours. I find it very hard to have extra time for my family. About 5 months ago, Rain was introduced to me, and now I have the answer. I can make money and get back some of my time. Also, I had a great time in Orlando this week. I would like to thank Rain for changing my life. Go Rain. To Debbie.
Hi, everyone. My name is Debbie Grisey. I live in Jensen Beach, Florida. I own a property management company, which is rewarding and it could be very stressful because of the long hours. I was also a caretaker for my husband who had Alzheimer's. Unfortunately, he passed away in September. And when he did pass away, I realized I wanted my life to definitely be less stressful because I had a lot of stress over many years doing that, caretaking, and that is. I wanted more joy, less stress, more happiness, and I wanted to have it easier, my life, as I got older. So I wanted to be around like-minded people, positive thinking people. And when I was introduced to Rain, I saw the people, I saw the products, I saw everything about it. I knew this was absolutely the perfect place for me to be. It's going to give me the resources to travel, meet new people, and best of all, it's going to give me a place where I can actually help others achieve their goals. I love you, Rain. Back now to a good friend of mine, Mark Sipich.
Good evening. My name is Mark Sipich. I'm from Chicago, Illinois. I'm a CPA that has prepared taxes and business strategies for the last 35 years. And more recently, I'm helping my son expand his successful pool installation business. Over these years, I've worked 60 to 70 hours a week regularly on a salary, helping others build their businesses and success while putting in many hours, but not getting any more pay. So actually, the more hours I worked, the less I made per hour since I was on a fixed salary. When my friend introduced Rain to me, I saw the opportunity to apply my efforts and get paid for the efforts I put into the business. I also saw a system and training that allows me to utilize my time efficiently to help me build and teach other people in my in-between time how to build and succeed while we all become healthier and wealthier. It's a win-win. So much that someday in the near future, I can see that Rain is going to help me where I won't have to work as many hours, get paid what I'm worth, and I can help other people earn their success. Back to you, Dale.
Guys, thank y'all so very much. Those are great testimonies. Everybody, you see, people, this is a whole different a group of people from around the United States. We've got people watching from around the world. It's for everybody. It doesn't matter who you are, where you're from. You can do this. Find somebody to hook up with it. Next, we're going to go over to somebody that this young lady, you know, I can't speak enough highly about her. She is just a wonderful, wonderful individual. She cares about her people. She's an expert in building teams around the world, both face to face and on social media. You know, I love to be able to call her my friend, Miss Ann Feinstein. And, you know, she's just a wonderful, wonderful person. So, Miss Ann, over to you next.
Oh, I'm telling you, I love hearing these stories. It warms my heart because you're hearing from people who have the three most important characteristics that we talked about this past weekend, and that is passion, intensity, and urgency. Because what is going on today requires that. There are people going to bed every night praying for health solutions. And we've got a solution for that. And thank you very much, Rebel, for sharing tonight, because Ben is one of the most wonderful products that we have, with a full efficacy of science backing it with incredible technology, ingredients, seed source nutrition. And of course, you know, people are going to bed, as you've heard tonight from some of my friends, talking about really wanting to be able to make a change in their lives and not have to worry about trading time for money and doing this, the 60, 90, you know, hour a week work week that many of us got, you know, stuck into. I say, like, in that trap. So to hear people telling their stories tonight, it comes down to that's what's going on in the world today, to be able to give people solutions. And when we can come up with solutions, we have to be able to go out into the world with posture, because we've got something amazing to share with the world. And I say that because today, and again, I started back before, oh, I know this is going to shock all of you, but I started back before Facebook, before Instagram, before TikTok, okay, and all the other social media platforms that are out there today. We actually did face-to-face conversations and sat down with people and really got belly to belly to hear what was going on in their lives and took a great interest. Well, guess what, guys? We can do the same thing, okay, today with social media. And we can do it effectively, you know, by using a tool like social media to not just do passive recruiting or passive conversations with people by putting up posts and being consistent in doing that, which is important, because whether we like it or not, people check us out online. Okay, they're looking to see, you know, what it is that we're doing. They're looking to see, you know, what it is that you're up to. What are you talking about? Okay, and what's important to you? So it's important to be consistent. It's important to have a branding message where you're talking about the things that are most important you heard about tonight. Okay, we're talking about health. We're talking about vitality. We're talking about lifestyle. We're talking about having leverage, being able to help people make transitions, because there's so many people out there that, as a result of what happened a couple of years ago, are now much more open for looking for something, whether we call it a side gig or we call it, you know, an additional stream of income, whatever you want to call it. The point of the matter is that people are looking for it. And if we can be out there in the world, okay, showing people that we've got something amazing and we're proud and we're confident and we've got posture. Well, how do we go about doing that? Well, I'm going to share a couple things with you. First of all, I said consistency. You've got to be consistent, okay? Posting stories, pictures, whatever it is. And even looking at, your profile, okay? Do you have a smiley face that people want to get to know? Okay, I love my animals. Everybody knows I love my animal, but I don't have a picture of my cute little puppy, okay, as a profile picture. Okay, they want to see who you are. Okay, and I suggest the same thing. And then a background that has some meaning to what you are trying to accomplish and what your messaging that you're putting out there. So we want to be consistent. We want to have stories. Okay, that's another thing. I personally learned a lot. Posting is one thing in your profile, but then those stories, okay, gives you an even greater reach to people, whether it's on Facebook or whether it's on Instagram, okay, having something that's going up there every day. So that's it. People say, you know what? I see Debbie's out there. I see that Derek is out there and Rebel and Mark and Dale. They're doing something. They got things going on. Okay, I like their energy. I like their vibe. I like what they're doing in their life. Okay, that's somebody that I'd like to know more about and want to become friends with, because ultimately we want them to go back and look and see what you're doing. Okay, we're going to actually show you in a few minutes as to how to go about doing that. And of course, starting genuine conversations. Genuine conversations with people as you would as if you walked into somebody's house to a party. Okay, the difference here, guys, is that the party is now globally available to you. That to me, when I got that, that was a mind-blowing concept. You talk about leverage, like you heard Derek talk about. I look at our business today. Our business today is global. To be able to have a business where we're in Orlando, we're in Turkey, we're over in Milan. Okay, when I start talking to local people, I'm going here, I'm going there, because we have business over there. And they're wondering, what is it that she does? What is it that's going on over there? Okay, in the Feinstein house. Because the information is out there and it's pulsating. Something exciting is happening, and people want to be with people that have exciting things going on. They're making things happen. So we want to go back to some of our old posts, okay, and look at who are you having conversations with? Who made comments, okay, that you could go back and have a nice conversation with them, a real conversation? Who's liked and commented on some of your previous posts that you could add to your list, the ever-growing, organically growing list of people? So when somebody says to me, oh, Ann, I spoke to everybody I know. Really? Okay, with the millions and millions and millions of people that are out there in the world today, okay, I think you could find a couple more to be able to share such a beautiful concept of health, wellness, prosperity, and be able to change some lives somewhere in the 45 plus countries that we're doing business in. So it's a matter of learning a couple of new skills, and let's talk about that. One of the skills that I love, okay, to be able to reach out to people and to really have serious conversations going is what I call the 333. Okay, that means that, you see somebody that has a good vibe about them, that has a good energy about them, that's actively doing things, somebody that you would like to be able to strike up a conversation with, as if you were at a party. You'd see them across the room, you go across the room, you introduce yourself. Well, the way we do that on social media is we like their stories and we give them sincere compliments. Rebel, I love your hair color. Oh my goodness, I love your style. I see you changed it. Okay, she got a nice short bob haircut. She looks gorgeous. Debbie, okay, in one of her pictures has a gorgeous, beautiful, sparkly jacket on. The same thing with Regina the other day. She had a sparkle jacket on. So if I saw that, I would say, Regina, what a beautiful sparkly jacket. Where were you going with that? What kind of premiere were you going to? And I see somebody else, I give a serious compliment, a sincere one. And I do that for 3 times that day. 3 pictures, 3 posts, whatever it is, 3 stories. By the time you do that 3 days in a row in this kind of a world that we're in today, guys, guess what? You become new best friends. Okay, that's how quickly this moves. So by the time you finish the 3rd day, Now you're starting to have conversations because it's only natural. Well, thank you, Anne. That was very nice. I saw your puppy. Oh, I see that you just came back from Turkey. Oh my goodness, I see that you were down in Orlando. What is it that you do? And before you know it, you're in conversations. So what I like to do, okay, at the end of the 3 days, is actually reach out to them and say something along these lines. And I'm going to let you in on some of the wonderful ways that you can reach out to someone. In a private message, I would say something with a friend who I've now reached out to 3 days in a row with 3 different compliments, sincere ones, or comments. Gosh, Rebel, I love your vibe. I've really enjoyed connecting and learning about you. Okay? You inspire me with your tenacity, with your energy, with your vibrance, also your love of animals. And I would totally kick myself, okay, if I didn't ask you if you're open to checking out a project that I'm working on that would really mesh well with your skills. Because I would see her, probably doing some lives or some social media things that I would then address a real skill that she has that has impressed me. So I would say to her, I'm working on that would mesh well with your skills, with your the way you've been conversing, the way you've been training, teaching, whatever it is. And if I send you a link, if I will you, that's another key point. If I will you, would you be willing to review a short video and let me know what you think? Okay, now what's the worst can happen? She doesn't like the fact that you vibe with her. I mean, I will tell you, chances are, okay, she will say something back. Of course, that would be lovely. I'd love to take a look because you've sincerely connected over the last 3 days and you've given a sincere compliment. So what happens next? Well, there's another way of connecting with people. Okay, I did this with Derek. Okay, we had been away from each other for a while, hadn't spoken to him for a while, saw it was his birthday, sent him a birthday message the day after his birthday, because on the day of the birthday, you know what happens on social media. It's like a boom of birthday messages. The day after, I said, "Hey, Derek, wishing you a happy birthday. Hope your day was as magical and as delightful as you are. It's been a while. We need to connect. Let's catch up." So we caught up, and guess what? Okay, he wanted to know what I was up to. We had a great conversation. He got on an evening like this, okay, to check it out, and decided this is what he wanted to do, okay, by the next morning. You see, guys, this is about bringing people into your world in a real way and doing it really genuinely. So that's another way, okay, keeping the birthday messages going. The same thing, I go online and I look for online groups that I could relate to. Obviously, I would relate to business related things, business women things, business activity things, entrepreneurial activities, anything to do with vibrance or energy or vitality or over 50, the 50 groups. Okay. Funny story. Woman comes in to train me. Okay. I live in a 55 plus community. She came in to train me. Okay. Because I wanted her to help me get back into shape. I assume she thought she was going to meet a little old lady sitting in a chair, knitting. She walked in, okay, and I was barreling down the steps. And I said to her, "Well, we got to set it up for next week because I'm leaving for Turkey." "What are you doing in Turkey?" "Oh, I have a grand opening of my business." She said, "Really?" I said, "Yeah." "All right, I'll see you next week." So anyhow, we set up next week. How is Turkey? I tell her all about it. Okay, she's going, "Wow." I said, "Well, now for next week, got to be thinking about this because I'm going to be in Orlando." "What are you doing in Orlando?" "Same thing we did in Turkey." Now she says to me, "What is it that you do?" Guess who left with a roadmap and information and a couple of samples today. So she's going to be watching this tomorrow because she gets up early in the morning and she goes and works out with clients. But this, guys, okay, this is the most incredible opportunity to help people get healthy. Okay, feel more vibrance, feel more energy in their life, turn their life around, make choices in their life that they couldn't have made unless they come across you. And you have the confidence, the posture, the passion, the urgency, and the consistency to tell the right story. So with that, back over to you, Dale.
Wow, wow, wow. I'm supposed to wrap it up after that? Miss Ann, thank you very much for so much information and to really let it be shared to people and let people understand this really is like a family. And we care about what others are doing, care about what others thinking. We really want people to be comfortable. We want for them to enjoy what they're doing and realize they have an opportunity, but that opportunity goes in so many directions, from new friends to family to business opportunities to networking with people they associate with and they enjoy and they want to be around. You know, too many of us have to go to a job that we don't like the people we work with. So we're giving you an opportunity to possibly work with someone you like. And you know, Rebel did such a wonderful job tonight talking about our product Bend. And it really is just, it's like a lube job. It's an oil change for your joints. Just such a phenomenal product. And there's multiple other products out there we have, but Ben was just one of them tonight. That was the one that got spotlighted tonight. And then we went to Derek talking about the leverage and, you know, sharing about how there's 9 different ways of getting paid. And hey, I love it because, you know, like I said, I've been to jobs before in my lifetime growing up where I showed up and that's the only way you normally get paid. But sometimes even when you show up, you don't get paid. And then, of course, we went into hearing some real life testimonies from Regina and Debbie and Mark and Ivan. And I don't think I missed anybody, but, you know, we heard those testimonies from them that really shared from different people that have just gotten in the program and just they're sharing what Rain has done for them. And so I'm supposed to put this big bow on it tonight and sell you this opportunity, but I'm not going to say anything. I want to invite you to be a part of the Rain family, to be a Rain friend, to try the products, to try the opportunity, to realize that there's something there for you. You may not realize it right now, but there's something for you. So associates, get back with your guests you invited tonight. Get their questions answered. Let them know how welcome they are to be a part of the Rain family, Rain 2.0. And if you're just joining in for the first time, get your questions together because we will answer your questions. We're transparent. We want you to understand. We want you to see all of it, all the opportunities there are there. So, guests, thank you for jumping on. The associates, thank y'all for jumping on. So much great information tonight. Guys, we love you. We are Rain 2.0. I am Rain, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Good night.
Shine bright like a diamond. Find light in the beautiful sea. I chose to be happy. You and I, we're like diamonds in the sky. You're a shooting star, I see, a vision of ecstasy. When you hold me, I'm alive. We're like diamonds in the sky. I knew that we could come one right away. Oh, right away. At first sight, I felt the energy of sun rays. I saw the life inside. So shine bright tonight. You and I, we're beautiful like diamonds in the sky. I so alive. We're beautiful like diamonds in the sky. Shine bright like a diamond.